YouTube's success is great and all, but it's not paying the bills. I needed to venture a little bit further than YouTube to see what opportunities might be out there for someone like me. Someone who wants to get into video production. I did some serious, painstaking, and thorough investigations. And then I found a really stupid thing. But don't take my word for it. There are hundreds of sites dedicated to the collaborative buying and selling of stock footage. So if you don't already know, sometimes filmmakers and content creators need shots of something that might be too difficult or too expensive to film themselves. Sometimes it's easier to pay for footage that's already been shot by somebody else, or stock footage. And this practice is a lot more prevalent than most people realize. I mean, seriously, look at every prescription drug commercial or political ad. Well, that led me to my next crossroad. What would I film? Most of the time when I look at stock footage, I think of these sweeping vistas, the Grand Canyon, a helicopter flying over a mountain, an animal perhaps too dangerous to film by a production team. I didn't have access to any of that crap. There's not a whole lot of exciting things happening around me. I mean, for those of you paying attention, my last video was about 40% footage of grass. Very exciting. But it turns out that none of that mattered anyway, because I can just make crappy green screen clips instead. There seemed to be a huge demand for actors to do very odd things in front of green screens. The further you get into this stuff, the weirder it gets. This doesn't make any sense. Look at this. Here's Santa. Oh, now here's Santa, building a city. Somehow, he's giant. Stop playing God, Santa. The vast majority of these clips actually seem to be people in business suits, doing what I assume is business. Apparently these clips are in high enough demand to sell for as much as $200 a piece. That's right, folks. For only $200, you can own and use clips such as mature male making hand gestures, happy businessman smiling in camera, businessman riding a motorcycle, businessman wearing something with his hands, and African American builds different grimaces. He has a good mood. Yeah, these things are pretty low effort, and they didn't seem to require much in terms of acting or talent. So I was a perfect fit. I ordered a green screen and got to work. As for everything else, well, I had the camera, and I have a business suit. Well, more of a jacket, really. No business pants. But then again, my mom's always said, don't post anything waist down on the internet. The following clips are for sale. Please email me 200 bitcoins. Businessman taking a selfie with a potato. Business Spider-Man. That's none of your business, man. Cold businessman. Hot businessman. Businessman tasting sunscreen despite his better judgment. Businessman, a film by Wes Anderson. Wizard businessman. Homeless businessman. Businessman giving a thumbs up. Businessman contending with severe crippling depression. Business dog. Back to business. Get it? 'Cause his back is to the camera. Businessman chewing gum for the first time ever. Businessman putting an end to slavery. Businessman lost his hands. But don't worry, it's a funny story. Business Thor. Why the long face, businessman? And 3 or 4 other things that we didn't use because they're not funny. I say none of this is funny. Alright.